I think the girls with their nails done now.
Oi, what's up people? We're back with another guide and this time it's Minecraft Dungeons. In this video I'll break down pretty much everything you need to know before playing the game, and I'll also provide you with some helpful tips and tricks. So let's start. Minecraft Dungeons is a Minecraft based hack and slash dungeon crawler game, pretty much like Diablo and Path of Exile. The game can be played online or offline in solo mode as well as co-op mode in groups of 2, 3 or 4 people. The game is available on PC, Xbox, PS4 and Nintendo Switch, but it does not support a cross-platform mode yet. The game has 3 difficulties, each with 6 levels. There are 9 base missions and 3 secret missions that you can unlock. You need to complete all available missions in order to proceed to the next difficulty. To progress through the 6 levels in each difficulty, you need to gradually raise your power level, which caps at 108 for the time being. There are no classes in the game, which means you can equip any piece of gear that you may find. The loot is randomly generated as in most dungeon crawler games, but there are several weapons, armors and artifacts that you can get. The currency of the game is called emeralds, which can be used to buy random gear and artifact pieces. If you don't like the items that you get, you can always salvage them and get a refund in emeralds. Also keep in mind that you cannot trade items with others, but you can loot their supplies when they open a supply chest. Last but not least, possibly the best feature of the game is the enchantments. There are about 50 of them and they can all stack. Now that you know all the basics, let's have a look at how the game starts when you log in for the very first time. You can create a character, but of course there are no skills or classes. You pick the skin you like mostly. Even if you can't actually see it, cause you know, it's just pixels. Oh, yeah, you can get those cool skins too if you buy the Hero Edition. Also you get access to the next 2 DLCs, not bad at all, right? Anyway, whenever you feel ready, you may select your character and start playing. Yeah, of course, it's as simple as that. What did you expect? Customizing your character for an hour? Bruh. No time for those type of things. This is Minecraft universe, you know? So, there are some short skippable introductions between levels to give you the idea of a storyline. Because every decent game has a decent storyline, but... yeah, okay, you get what I mean. As you can see, you start running around killing everything in your way with your sword and your bow until you reach the end of the level. That's pretty much every introduction level at every game you might play. And you'll keep going and you'll collect those shiny emeralds that you can use later to buy some cool stuff. And on the way you might get some random loot, which you can equip and use. And while you keep watching me failing around the map, I have to remind you that this is a dungeon crawler game, which means everything that you find along your way, you have to loot it. Supply chests will always give you food to regenerate your life, as well as some arrows for your bow. Also, I have to remind you to never forget to upgrade your gear with any available enchantments. If you ever manage to get lost in the map, because that will eventually happen among all those dungeons, there is a yellow arrow that you can follow towards the end of the mission. So just look for the yellow arrow somewhere in your screen, you'll find it eventually. Otherwise, you can always use the M button, which is the map, obviously, or the tab button, which is a smaller version of the map in the middle of your screen. When you complete the first mission, you will get teleported to the camp. Then you will see a stat screen of your recent mission and you will finally receive your first reward. The rewards that you get are artifacts pretty much every time. After receiving your reward, you will be able to select your next mission through a huge table in the middle of your screen. While progressing through the game and keep completing missions successfully, the blacksmith vendor will appear, who sells you weapons and armor. Of course, the artifact vendor will become available later on. Alright, now that you know almost every aspect of the game, I'll briefly explain the enchantments, how they work and which you should prefer while progressing regarding the artifacts that you're using. Before I do that though, here is a little secret for you. As you can see in the video, there is a secret place near the camp that looks like a church or a castle. Anyway, first you have to walk your way around the camp to find it, but after you do, there is a switch which you can use to lower the bridge, which works as a shortcut. Once you enter that church and walk towards the last room in the back, you will see a sealed gate with some markings above it. Those markings are the so-called secret runes. You already unlocked one when discovering this place, so there are 9 more of them which you have to discover in some tricky spots during your missions once you unlock Adventure Mode. When you achieve collecting all these runes, eventually you will be able to open the gate and proceed to another room for some shiny loot. Also, once you loot the scroll in the middle of the room, you will unlock a new secret mission that people call Moo or Cow level. Yeah, I see what you did there. Okay, sorry, but I have to let you in on 2 more secrets considering it's free loot without much of an effort. Some people call it a bug and I'm still not sure for how long you will be able to farm those spots. So as soon as you finish this guide, jump in the game and start farming for your own good. So the first spot, as you can see, is in Soggy Cave. Once you make your way inside the actual cave, there are several gates that lead to more dungeons. You can see one gate on the top floor with walls around it. So this next part requires you or anyone of the others in your group to have a controller connected to their PC, which means if you are a console player, you are in luck. The trick here is that if you have a player using a controller in the group, he can somehow click on the gate by hugging the wall. You can all teleport on him and enjoy a free chest. You can repeat the process as many times as you like, but keep in mind that if you want better items, you have to equip the highest power level items that you have in your inventory before starting the mission. That way the system rewards you with equal or better gear. The second secret, as you can see, is in Desert Temple. The only trick here is for you to be lucky enough with the camera angle. This means that if your camera while entering the mission has another angle, you cannot farm the spot. If you are lucky, as you can see in the video, you will be able to see the spot across the bridge. It takes one roll to reach it, and once again, enjoy your free loot. If you fail at rolling, like me, you can always teleport one of your friends who's already inside. When you're inside, give it a shot and explore the room because you might get a second chest. And finally, time for the enchantments. Now you can enjoy some footage of the secret cow level, which is considered the best spot to farm XP. No, like seriously, guy in my group got almost 20 levels in a couple of hours in here. First, you need to realize that your level doesn't mean much. It's all about the power level of your gear. Also remember that you will probably change your gear every half an hour, so don't spend too long overthinking about enchantments. Your gear consists of a melee weapon, a ranged weapon and your armor. All three of those items have enchantment slots, while artifacts do not. There are 3 item rarities in the game, separated by different colors and sometimes extra abilities. These are common items with a grey color, rare items with a green color, and unique items with an orange color. You can imagine that you should mostly go for the unique items since most of them have some cool extra abilities that will prove to be very useful while you progress. So there are 2 types of enchantments, common and powerful. The difference is that usually powerful enchantments are kind of better than common enchantments. I'll try to break down the enchantments in groups, listing them while briefly explaining their role in combat and let you know which I consider as some of the best, even if that depends on your playstyle mostly. You should remember that since there are some health gaining enchantments that you might use, there are also some health regenerating artifacts too. So if you would like to mix things up, you might as well go for a full damage build and use defensive artifacts, or play it safe with those health gaining enchantments and rush in. Obviously there are 50 or more enchantments in the game, so I won't go through all of them. Instead I'll briefly mention them and give you some suggestions to get the best value out of them. First, you have the health regeneration enchantments. These are Anima Conduit, Final Shout, Food Reserves, Health Synergy, Leeching, Radiance, Radiant Shot, and Surprise Gift. You should go for Leeching on low levels, and when things get tougher, always pick Radiance. You can always go ham with a Final Shout Health Synergy combo using damaging artifacts. Then you have the speed enchantments. These are Accelerating, Frenzied, Rampaging, Rapid Fire, Soul Speed, Speed Synergy, Swift-Footed, and Tempo Theft. If you are a Dark Souls hit and run kind of guy, you'll probably love the last 4 that were mentioned. Accelerating and Rapid Fire are pretty good, especially with a fast rate bow, while Rampaging is great for huge pulls. Then we have the Control or Weakening enchantments. These are Chains, Chilling, Freezing, Smiting, Snowball, Stunning, Weakening, and Wild Rage. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of those, but I have to admit Stunning and Smiting helped a lot in lower levels. Then we have possibly the most famous category, which is the splash damage enchantments. These enchantments are Chain Reaction, Committed, Critical Hit, Echo, Growing, Multi-Shot, Piercing, Power, Ricochet, Sharpness, Shockwave, and Swirling. As you already know by now, those are your main sources of damage, so while playing with a high fire rate or multi-shooting bow for splash damage, go for Chain Reaction and Ricochet. Although, the best of these tier that are selected most frequently are Critical Hit, Shockwave, Swirling, and Committed. Then some of my personal favorites, the damage over time enchantments. These are Burning, Fire Aspect, Fuse Shot, Exploding, Poison Cloud, Thorns, and Thundering. Some pretty decent out of this tier are Burning and Poison Cloud, cause, you know, who wouldn't enjoy area effects, killing everything around you in a matter of seconds? Of course there are several more enchantments in the game, but they're not as good as those that have been already mentioned. But if you wanna try any of them, you should consider using cooldown and sometimes infinity on a bow build. So, you know, have fun testing them and come up with any crazy ideas and builds that you might like, and leave them in the comments for the rest of us. Thank you! So this is the end of the video, and that's what my character looks like now. I know it's a weird flex, but if you enjoyed this video guide, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
I think the girls with their nails done now.